A 3-year-old watches an adult hit, kick, and yell at an inflatable doll. Later, the child is placed in a room with the same doll. Without instruction, without reward, the child reproduces every act of aggression, adding a few creative touches of their own. Albert Bandura had just demonstrated that behavior can be learned purely through observation. Observational learning, also called modeling or social learning, is the acquisition of behavior by watching others. It goes beyond classical and operant conditioning by showing that reinforcement is not necessary for learning. Merely observing a model is enough to acquire behaviors, attitudes, and emotional responses. The first process is attention. You can only learn from what you notice. Factors increasing attention to a model include similarity to the observer, prestige and competence of the model, and the distinctiveness and emotional salience of the behavior. Media models capture attention precisely because they are designed to be engaging and aspirational. Retention involves encoding the observed behavior into memory. Mental rehearsal, repeatedly imagining performing the behavior, strengthens retention. This explains why athletes mentally simulate performance before competition. The brain processes imagined and real movement through overlapping neural circuits, making mental practice genuinely effective. Reproduction requires the physical and cognitive capacity to execute what was observed. You can watch professional ballet for years, but still lack the muscle memory, flexibility, and coordination to reproduce the movements. This explains why observational learning is most effective when the model's behavior is slightly above, not far beyond, the observer's current ability. Motivation is influenced by vicarious reinforcement. Observing a model being rewarded for a behavior increases the probability that the observer will perform it. Vicarious punishment, watching a model punished, suppresses the behavior. The observer learns what works and what doesn't through the model's consequences, not their own. Albert Bandura proposed self-efficacy as a central concept in social cognitive theory, the belief that you can successfully perform a particular task. Self-efficacy is task-specific. You may have high efficacy for math and low efficacy for public speaking. It predicts effort, persistence, and ultimately performance across academic, athletic, and clinical domains. Bandura identified 4 sources of self-efficacy. Mastery experiences, actually succeeding, provide the strongest boost. Vicarious experiences, watching similar others succeed, raise efficacy. Social persuasion, being told you can do it, has modest effects. Physiological states, interpreting arousal as confidence rather than anxiety, also shape efficacy. Low self-efficacy creates a damaging cycle. Believing you will fail leads to avoidance of the task or reduced effort. Avoidance and low effort reduce the chance of success. Failure or poor performance confirms the original belief. This self-fulfilling prophecy can maintain low efficacy across years and produce learned helplessness.